So Clemson takes an L in overtime. Florida State beats Clemson in overtime after a botched field goal. Of course, the kicking was something that Florida State kind of took a gamble on, as far as going for it on fourth down before the game was over, and then missed the field goal and whatnot. And then Clemson, this is their first time in a while they have their second conference loss. They're 2-2. This is continuing the trend of Clemson kind of out of their reign when they had stellar quarterback play with Trevor Lawrence and Deshaun Watson. Cade Klubnik was pretty marginal this game, 25 for 38, one tub, 3 for 10 on the ground, one touchdown on the ground. But you're just not seeing the big play explosiveness from Clemson like we've seen for a while. On the flip side, Florida State, is Florida State real? I don't think Florida State's real, right? Florida State just had a tendency of losing to like Pittsburgh or some team during the regular season. They have some impressive wins on their belt, though. Beating LSU, beating Clemson. I do expect them to climb. I don't know if they're climbing the rankings, but I do expect them to kind of hold their spot in the rankings. The big test they have coming up are, I think Syracuse is playing some good football. They got Duke, Wake Forest, Pittsburgh, Miami, and Florida. So they have a tough ACC schedule. Compared to their schedule, they have a tough ACC schedule. I'm not saying that the teams are tough, but compared to what they play against, it's going to be tough. But I thought we saw Florida State come in and once again scrap out a win like they typically do. Jordan Travis, I think, is playing some good football. Not the best football, but his year-over-year progression is phenomenal. When you look at where he was at last year, we saw some glimpses of him doing well. But this time, we see some glimpses now of him really just making some throws that I say at the next level. With the receiver, Johnny Wilson, a big target who's finding spots in the zone. I think whenever Johnny Wilson comes out, I mean, you look at a guy I haven't seen. He's 6'7", 237. He's a junior who's finding spots in the zone, getting open, running the route tree. You don't typically see that from guys of this size, his caliber at receiver. So I think Johnny Wilson's a matchup problem, and he's really kind of showing that throughout the season. He's big, he's physical, he knows how to gauge and use his speed. Even though he's not having a wild season, but he's doing just enough to make plays and doing enough to make plays and put himself on the map. But good win for Florida State. Build on it, right? That's what they do. Build on it. They have some things rolling right now. I think that they're finding ways to win, whether it's them scrapping at the end or finding defense stepping up. But I do think that Jordan Travis is going to have to get better week over week and stay healthy. I like the fact that he only had 6 carries this game. Not running him as much. 37 passes through the air is typical for college, almost 300 yards. So him evolving as a passer with those interceptions, him evolving as a passer is what you want to see out of Florida State. If he can continue to make the throws that he's making, good decisions, and if they can establish a run, that's the big thing that Florida State's going to have to do. They're going to have to establish a run if they want to win games late in this season. You're 4 games down. You're done with the first quarter of football. The next quarter of football, it's, hey, look, we have our identity of who we are. Now let's work on the things and get better at the things that we don't do well, and that's running the ball. Defense is playing sound as well too. I don't think they faced like a stout offense yet, but you like the way defense is playing and how they're coming up big in big moments, and as well as the quarterback play. And I think this is something they can continue to build on. If they get their running game going, it's going to be some trouble for some teams if Jordan Travis continues to pass like this.